Within 2 generations, or about 60 years of your passing, your legacy may be nothing more than a name and a date. Unless they find that note you left. I'm sorry, did you not know about the note? Did nobody tell you about the note? Did you forget? You know, the note you wrote, the one that said, this is what I experienced in life. This is what I learned from those experiences, and this is what I became. And maybe you mentioned the people you loved, and maybe left some advice. No note? No journals? No personal histories? So what will you leave behind? A few comments on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Well, is that really where you bore your soul? Is that where you told your story? You know, you really should keep that note for the same reason that you breathe, to stay alive. Elder Dennis B. Neuenswander in 1999 spoke at General Conference where he said, "A life that is not documented within a generation or two will largely be lost to memory. Knowledge of our ancestors shapes us and instills within us values that give direction and meaning to our lives." Now, I understand. It's not like it's a commandment. You know that book of life thing, where the books are open and the dead are judged based upon what's written in the books. It's got to be somebody else writing that, or angels. Maybe it's like an optional doctrine. Yeah, that's it. You know, okay, it's a great aid for our posterity, but no great loss, right? I'm glad Nephi didn't think like that, or Mormon, or the apostles who chronicled Christ's life. Of course, then you aren't involved in God's work. You've probably never gone on a mission, never been to a temple, never healed the sick, and never probably had an unseen power protect you over death or danger. And likely you've never prayed, or wanted to, or tried. Because if you had, wouldn't you? Shouldn't you have written about it? Would your posterity find that interesting? Inspiring, even? Well, many years ago, a young girl did keep a journal. And while many of her early entries relate to the mundane aspects of her life, her family, her situation, Time magazine named her one of the most important people of the 20th century, stating, "With a diary kept in a secret attic, she braved the Nazis and lent a searing voice to the fight for human dignity." Her name, Anne Frank. And at the age of 15, in 1945, she died, along with millions of other Jews in concentration camps. The fascinating part, the absolute fascinating part to me, is that young Anne at the age of 13 and 14 had no idea. No idea that her words, her life, her diary would have such impact and influence on generations yet to come. No idea. A few years ago, I started a nonprofit historical archive. We were trying to get people's histories recorded, and we were having a really hard time selling it. We could hardly even give our services away. And these are some of the excuses I heard. "I'll get around to it. My life is not interesting. No one wants to know about me." Oh, the worth of a soul. You know, unless you write that note, your words, your opinions may not be heard, may make no difference. Your voice will be silenced, your influence forgotten, your contribution lost, your existence may even be questioned. Start writing. You'll become more accountable. Start writing. Exciting things will happen. Start writing, because writing is a form of therapy. Or so said Graham Greene, one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. Says he, "Sometimes I wonder how all those who do not write, compose, or paint can manage to escape the madness, melancholy, the panic and fear which is inherent in a human situation." I also agree with another writer, Susan Ernst, who thought millions long for immortality, who don't know what to do with themselves on a rainy Sunday afternoon. So, yes, hate the process of writing if you must, but love having written. Live forever. Leave the note.